Hello everyone, it's Kavou and I welcome you to another Skyrim episode. Today we are fixing, overhauling, in my humble opinion, the most important thing in Skyrim, and this is the combat.
What a waste.
I'm just gonna have this full video be dedicated around improving the combat. Like, subscribe to the channel, leave any comment down below, say I like sweet rolls, it really helps me find my audience and it supports the channel. Before we start the video, I want to make this perfectly clear, guys. I want to make this episode, as all of my episodes, be involved around Skyrim Plus or Vanilla Plus. This means I am not going to include dodge type of mod, MCO with those crazy combos or anything like that. There are some things we are going to change, but overall Skyrim is going to feel, as you were playing Skyrim before, be minimalistic but have a lot of crazy new things added into it. So don't expect your game to play like Elden Ring or some other crazy game like that. First of all, we are installing Blade and Blunt, a combat overhaul. This mod is made by Simon Magus, and in my opinion, guys, this mod single-handedly carries Skyrim, and if I had to put a single mod to essentially fix everything that's wrong with Skyrim's combat, it will be this mod. This mod is to combat mods what Skyland is to the graphical mods. This includes everything. What I used to do before Blade and Blood, I used to have a mod like Wildcat to add injuries, then I used to have another combat mod like Valhalla to add extra combos, and I used to have essentially 5 or 6 different combat mods to do all of those small things. Blade and Blood literally does it all, and the best thing about Blade and Blood, guys, I could make a whole video out there. Actually, there is videos of people again explaining why Blade and Blunt is so good. If Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it should 100% have something similar like Blade and Blunt because it is so good. Before explaining some of the key things that Blade and Blunt does, I want to say that the most important thing out of all is that Blade and Blunt, first of all, is safe to use, is extremely stable the way we are going to mod our game, and second of all, it's going to make Skyrim feel like vanilla Skyrim. It helps you maintain your resources, your health, your mana, your stamina. It adds attacks of opportunity. If your enemies are vulnerable, you gain extra damage by hitting them. When they are drawing a bow, when they are casting a spell and you are attacking them, casting Gorge declines that. There is stagger and interrupts in a way where it doesn't destroy the game's balance every time you hit. It overhauls the blocking and powering. It adds injuries, so many of that. There is actually armor rating and resistances. Finally, I've missed that from Morrowind and even Oblivion. Blade and Blunt adds resistances to everything. It is so good. It adds changes to the speed of the weapons, the reach, the attack commitments. It adds so much more, and it is a fantastic mod to have, guys. If you never tried Blade and Blood, give this mod a try. It is going to change your game. I will not check any of those. If you don't like kill moves, you can click that, but I want kill moves because on a later episode we are going to add decapitation and dismembering in the game, so we need that because I think kill moves are super cool. I want to have stamina for literally everything we do because it is immersive, just like in real life. The next mod is Aetherius, and I thought of not including this mod because I always found that races are kinda overrated. Usually doesn't matter what you pick because you end up having your own build, but this mod completely changes races. It adds so much more immersion, it enhances the role playing of the game, and it makes it where if you want to build a character and have this rock-like experience, it just makes everything so much more better. And here comes the cavalry, guys. We already made Skyrim so much more better, but every mod we're putting into the game, and this is again my personal favorite mods, it's going to make Skyrim feel so much more better. This is precision, and in case you haven't been living under a rock, this mod, just like Blade and Blood, it is going to completely change the combat. Now, it is not going to make the combat different from Skyrim, but it will make it where your hitboxes now will completely change to wherever you are aiming. This is going to make the combat much more modern, and trust me, if you had only precision and Blade and Blood installed into your game, it will make Skyrim so much more better. Precision and Blade and Blood, in my opinion, are the best mods from this episode, so grab this. It adds so many things, guys, and it works again with Blade and Blood. As you can see, it makes the combat so much more better in every single way. I will have all of the requirements down in the video description of secondary mods like that, so we don't have to lose time when it comes to all of that. When it comes to precision, we are not using TK dodge, so essentially skip that part and enable the mod. Next, let's improve the movement when it comes to Skyrim with true directional movement. This is going to make the movement so much more better. Go ahead here and install the main file, and then we want to go to the True HUD additions and install this. Going to add again, as you can see, health bars, stamina bars for the enemies, loot bars, everything. This is for fatigue and stagger that we've discussed. All of the mods we're adding will add into the game, so this adds a lot of information. It makes the combat so much more better. Without, go to the files and install this as well. Next, let's enhance Archery in Skyrim, which was already broken, by adding Archery locational damage, and this mod, it does to Archery what Blade and Blood does to the combat. It makes Archery super unique, it refreshes how it works. This is going to add so many new features when it comes to Archery. It is absolutely a must mod to have. Pick the Skyrim Special Edition. For any mod we're using, you can use the complex one. Then we are going to add the jumping attack. Do you remember when I've told you we are not adding many things in order to modernize or make Skyrim feel like a Souls-like of game? Well, I sort of lied, because jumping attack, it's something that should exist in Skyrim, because it makes it where you can jump and actually hit enemies, and it's so good for first person and third person. This should be included in Elder Scrolls 6 or any RPG games, in my opinion, and without this mod, Skyrim is 100% unplayable, guys. So go ahead and grab the main file of that. Then we want to combine this with better jumping. This is a lightweight mod that completely changes how jumping works, because now, very simply, it is going to add momentum when it comes to jumping. A very simple mod, yet so good. Go ahead and grab the second file over here, and this is going to work with our jumping attacks mod, which makes jumping in Skyrim again less boring and way more fun. This, in my opinion, is the best jump overhaul that we 100% need. Then, we're going to build on top of that by having the Skyrim motion control, and this is going to add different adjustments or accelerations for you running. This is going to adjust the acceleration between walking, running and sprinting, and this also works for jumping. Combined with our jumping attacks and all of the mods we added so far, this makes Skyrim so much more better, guys. This is an amazing mod to have, in my opinion, and it's absolutely insane to have compared with everything. It even adds a jump boost. It's a beautiful mod to have. Go ahead and install the main file over here. Let's continue with fixing some of the combat. This is Arena and Encounter Zone Overhaul, and this is going to adjust how most of the locations feel like when it comes to combat, and this mod is one of the best mods ever made to enhancing the encounters. The first time you enter in a dungeon, they're going to feel less technical and much more challenging by having in high level areas stronger enemies, and you will think very carefully what you do. I like what Bethesda has done with the giants, where they're extremely strong and they are wandering around. This is pretty much going to do the same thing for most of the locations by adding a lot of challenge to the encounters you will find in the game. The mod is very technical, so you can go on and read about it, but of all of the mods I've tried when it comes to enhancing the encounters and fixing a lot of things, this is the best one I found when it comes to, again, making Skyrim feeling much more like Skyrim while improving everything without crashing our game. Go ahead and install the main file. Let's add Thaumaturgy, which adds a lot of new enchantments into the game. It fixes some of the boring stuff and it's going to give you way more choices when it comes to adding cool and unique effects to your weapons and armors. Go ahead and install that. Now let's fix some of the things with the improved camera mode. This is going to add first person camera and it's the best first person camera out there on the market. Let's install SmoothCam, which is going to modernize the camera when it comes to your character, which is going to hold for the third person camera, placing the camera on top of the shoulder of your character. When you install this, make sure to select the special edition and select the ESP version so it can be loaded on our load order. The SmoothCam Vanilla Enhanced 2 is my most favorite preset. Let's go ahead and install the magic sneak attacks because it makes sense that you can do that with magic now and not only with bows. We have the comprehensive first person animation overhaul, which makes all of the animations when it comes to first person weapons to feel so much more better and closer to the vanilla feeling of the game. And the stop on hit is a nice little effect that is going to make, or it's going to give the illusion of impact when it comes to hitting your enemies, so I will highly recommend to have the stop on hit for most of the weapons. I'm gonna give everything as it is, but I'm going to go for the high swings so we can actually see it from the camera. Enable the bow and crossbow and magic and grab everything here. We want to grab the quick loot array, which is going to give the Fallout 4 type of looting system, which makes Skyrim so much more nicer and modern to have. Go ahead down and install the third file that works for our version of the game and install that. Go ahead and install the Skyrim Souls updated, which essentially makes it where you cannot pause in Skyrim. This makes Skyrim so much more better because it doesn't make sense. You can freeze time anytime you want. Yes, you are the Dragonborn, you are super badass, but I think it completely destroys how combat plays in Skyrim, which is why this mod exists. Scroll all the way down and go to this file over here where it has the biggest amounts of downloads. Download this patch over here. And lastly, let's install the MorrowLoot Ultimate, which is going to make the looting in Skyrim, which is extremely boring in my opinion, feel similar to Oblivion and Morrowind, where sometimes you might find those super cool items, you might find some crazy item, or you might find completely nothing, which is super nice, and I love that when it comes to Skyrim. We're going to install the main file, and if you're having anniversary stuff, you can grab the patch as well. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the patch for Adamant because we're going to use that later on, and also install the Artificer and Artifact Overhaul and install that. Let's install the Artificer and Artifact Overhaul, which is going to completely enhance the artifacts and the legendary weapons you will find in Skyrim. Go ahead and grab those two files over here because we did install the Xavios Overhauls before, an absolutely must of a mod. And then let's install the Reliquary of Myth, which is going to enhance artifacts including the armors when it comes to that. Then let's install the Mundus, a standing stone overhaul, which is going to enhance the standing stones in Skyrim and the effects they have, which they were extremely lackluster and small. Not anymore with this mod, guys. This is the cherry on top that is going to combine everything we've put together in this video into one beautiful pie that we're going to use to make Skyrim Vanilla Plus. This is Vokriinator. I can never never pronounce this right, guys, so I'm just giving up, just so you know. This is a must mod to have, which again, we're going to install this together. This is going to enhance the way perks works in Skyrim. It's gonna give us way more choices. It's going to add much more magic, much more of everything combined with Blade and Blood. This is a must mod to have. And don't worry, because if you scroll a little bit down, it tells you how the load order should be or how you should download the mods, and we're going to do just that. So let's install Mysticism, which is one of the best magic mods out there in Skyrim, and go ahead and grab the latest version over here and install that. Then let's go to SPERG, which is Skyrim, perk enhancements and all of this crap, and install the main file over here. And we're going to install the optimized scripts as well. Then we're going to install Adamant, which adds a shit ton of perks to choose when it comes to the talent trees, and grab the main file over here and install that. And if your encounter attack speed issues, you can go ahead and try this fix over here. Then go ahead and install the Path of Sorcery, which is going to add a lot of new spells when it comes to Skyrim, and grab only the main file over here. Grab Vokrii Minimalistic Perks of Skyrim, which does exactly that, and we're going to install both of those two files over here. Install the main file and then the second file, and then the first optional file, and install the optimized scripts for Vokrii as well. We're going to install Ordinator's Perks of Skyrim, which is going to combine this and the previous mods into having all of the options when it comes to perks. Go ahead and install only the main file over here, and then go to the optimized scripts for Ordinator and install that as well. Let's go ahead and install the Ordinator combat styles, and you want to go ahead and grab the second file over here and install that only. And lastly, let's install the main file over here, which is going to fix everything. Install that. And you can grab any patches for any of those mods if you are using. And then we have the Book of Shadows behavior based stealth additions. It will add animated mask and the ability of you using smoke bombs, animated takedowns, and a bunch of things. The most important thing I love about this mod is the sentry system, and what this does, it makes it where if you actually get caught while being on stealth in a dungeon or a place that it requires hiding, the NPCs will grab a horn, they will blow it, the horn of course, and everybody will aggro you. This enhances stealth, and in my opinion it is an amazing and a beautiful mod to have that enhances Skyrim so much more when it comes to playing the game. Absolutely amazing. Now let's speak about the movement, and I'm gonna cover all of my movement mods. I'm going to use the Pristine vanilla movement. This enhances the walk and the run animations for all of the NPCs, and this makes every movement to feel like you are playing vanilla Skyrim, just slightly better. It doesn't make over-sexualized movements or over-the-top and crazy stuff. This is how I will imagine Skyrim Plus to play like. It's a fantastic mod and it works amazingly well with what we have installed so far. Go ahead and install the main file, and if you hate the sake when it comes to sprinting, you can install this one. Then we have the Rumple's dual wield idle, which fixes the weird bug with dual wielding where every time you turn you look like an idiot. Go ahead and grab the second file over here and install that because we're using open animation replacer. Then let's grab the Greatsword block and bash hit animations, which is going to enhance the bash when it comes to with 200 weapons, make it a little bit realistic, and it's a fantastic mod to have. It fits the vanilla theme. If you could compare this with the vanilla bashing, you couldn't tell the difference. This one is much more realistic and much more better looking in my opinion. My goal is to keep all of the vanilla animations the way they are, just enhance some boring parts here and there. Then for animations, we have the kids animations for one-handers and dual wield, which uses animations very similar with the vanilla ones. but those feel much more alive and much more refreshing, and all of those work great with precision. I think this is one of the best animation mods out there and extremely underrated if you want your animations to feel like you're playing vanilla but also look slightly better. This is going to enhance the power attacks and the attack animations. It is not going to fix the stance, which is why we've installed the previous mod. Go ahead and install the main file over here. And then we have the Kids Animations 200s, which on the similar spirit is going to do the same thing for 200 weapons. In my opinion, the best 200 animation overhaul that again, its goal is to improve the vanilla's boring animations by adding more life into them. Simple enough, go to the files and install the main file. Let's furthermore enhance stealth by using the detection meter. This is going to physically show you where enemies are going to use stealth and how close they are into detecting you, which is a nice addition, and it does make the game way more modern and way more nicer in my opinion. And we're going to enhance all of that by having the simple dual sheath, which is going to let us dual sheath both of our swords and all of our weapons. Go to files and install the main file over here for our version of the game, and you can grab the optional patch as well. And next, I'm gonna use the Goitias animations for a bunch of things such as conditional shouts. I will have all of the links of the specific animations I am using down in the video description, so you can check that on your own. Again, that pretty much covers all of the animations, all of the combat, and all of the mods I'm using when it comes to making Skyrim better. You don't have to use my mods, I'm just using a very simple minimalistic type of mod list that is going to contain around, I don't know, 300 mods or less, where essentially it's gonna feel like you're playing a vanilla plus, and you can grab this and mod it and put as many mods as you want. After we have installed everything, don't forget to click deploy mods, go back to your dashboard and run Nemesis. Click on Nemesis, click on Update Engine, let the program to cook, and we're going to click to all of the patches and animations so we can actually enable them in game. So first of all, we are clicking Book of Shadows, we are clicking Precision, the animated jump attack, the true directional stuff for all of the things we're using. Just click Launch Nemesis Behavior Engine. That is going to update every single animation for the mods we install. After launching Nemesis or any other tool you might be using, close that, and it's time to launch Loot, click Sort Plugins, and that is going to sort our plugins. That was my boring combat mod list of Skyrim, and if you like that, you can leave a like, subscribe, and I would like to thank you so much for watching. Next episode, we will be doing a lot of bug fixing, adding patches, and a lot of gameplay stuff. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, happy modding everyone, and see you soon.